Welcome to the Tea Time Podcast, where it's all about taking a few healthy minutes each day just for you, with your host, Sharissa Bradley.
Hello and welcome back to another episode for the Tea Time Podcast. I am so excited to be here. My name is Sharissa Bradley and we are continuing this Journey Back to Health series. We're on chapter 9 and we are digging into the systems and the organs that exist in the body. This is one of the biggest chapters in the book, and I feel like I have to explain myself just a teeny tiny little bit because when I wrote this chapter, I was health coaching people regularly, daily, and I kept coming across these situations, and even in my own personal life, I faced this, where every doctor that I went to or every specialist that I went to wanted to look at one individual place in my body, like this, like little microscopic place, like this was the place that was causing the problem. Like maybe it was my endocrinologist and they were specifically only looking at the thyroid. And when I suggested other things that were even part of the endocrine system, he was just aghast and totally like thrown off. Like, why would you even ask me questions about something that isn't thyroid related? And what I faced over and over again, and what I found my clients were facing over and over again, was this like desystematizing of the body, deorganizing of the body, pulling apart piece by piece and saying, let me just look at it through the lens of just the heart or just the lungs or just the thyroid or just the ovaries. And what was happening was that there was no intercommunication between the different professionals, and I was getting conflicting advice. And that was so challenging because if you're dealing with a health crisis, your energy is already so taxed for several reasons because your body's trying to heal itself, but you're also trying to maintain whatever status quo looks like in your life. And to add on top of that, not feeling well and doctor's appointments, it becomes quite a tumultuous environment. And in addition to that, if you're getting conflicting advice from these doctors that for me, I was driving an hour and a half to go see this endocrinologist into like a downtown city. It was challenging to get to there. I had to pay like every time I went just to park, and then I had to pay out of pocket to see this person and to get conflicting advice or like even conflicting advice from himself from one day to the next. That is what inspired me to write this section of the book. It may seem like it's just details. It really is like, here is the system and here is the definition. But the reason that I did this is because when we live in a world where the doctors are often telling us, well, I only want to look at you from this angle, I only want to look at you from that angle, we lose the value of the holistic model. We lose the holistic approach. And we no longer are understanding how the liver and the gallbladder communicate, or how the gallbladder and the stomach work together in digestion. And we often don't learn these things until that area, that system, or that organ in the body is starting to suffer. And then we learn, oh, wow, that's actually connected to that. And if I do this, it actually affects this area. So the reason I broke this section down like this, like literally wrote every single section, like your endocannabinoid system, your organs, each one of the endocrine system pieces that work together. And you'll see that it's multiple organs that come together and do a job. And when we take each thing apart, like specifically only looking at the thyroid, but not looking at like the adrenal glands, ovaries, uterus, other areas in the body that create and produce hormones, we're missing vital information. And this section of the book is really meant to help bring all those puzzle pieces back together again. If there is a problem somewhere in the body, it is most likely causing other problems in the body. For instance, if there's gut issues and there's inflammation and there's swelling in the digestive system, well, you can pretty much guarantee that your energy and your brain and your actual physical abilities are going to be less. Because if there's inflammation in the gut and you're not digesting the food properly, you're not getting the nutrients, the minerals, or the energy to then operate at full capacity. So we need to understand that when the digestive system is under attack, inflammation, swelling, hot, we're actually being affected in almost every other area of the body, because digestion takes up right from like all the way from our nose all the way down to our pelvic floor. That's a tremendous amount of space to be allotted for one system if it wasn't really all that important, right? So we have to see that the way that we digest affects all these different organ systems and all these different processes in the body. It's like a starting point. Even something as small as the tonsils take a blueprint of pathogens that come into the body to then help protect itself, the body itself, from any further pathogen attack if it's that same thing. The body has these like master systems that we have no real concept of. We've kind of scratched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what the body is capable of doing. We know that the liver has over 500 functions. 500 functions for this one organ that we use and we don't really ever think about, and we kind of like abuse and jokingly talk about like, oh, my liver can, they can take it. The thing is, when we take all these pieces and we look at them separately, it does a massive disjustice to the system as a whole. But when we look at the way that we can support our body, we can actually look at it through this lens of like, maybe my organs specifically need more attention. Specifically, I mentioned the adrenal gland. Maybe that is needing more minerals or more rest or less adrenaline control. If we're just able to take deeper breaths, maybe do even a little bit more meditation, we can affect the adrenal gland, which then domino effect affects the entire endocrine system. So we kind of look at ourselves through a lens in a way of how can we support a smaller or specific system in order to benefit the greater whole. For instance, if there was inflammation in the gut, there are so many amazing protocols out there that help to reduce inflammation in the gut. Certain elimination diets that require you to remove inflammatory foods, that allows the digestive system an actual rest and a break to heal properly. And then once that inflammation is gone, digestion turns back on and all the other systems benefit from being able to absorb more nutrients. So as you can see, this section in the book is like perfectly timed, because if we start to understand that the outside world has taken our body and made pieces of it and said, okay, here, I only want to treat this one area. But when we take our power back and we take control into our own hands, and we can kind of do something similar where we're looking to pinpoint what is needing support, we can add the nutrients and add the support or add the habits that actually protect that system and then benefit the rest of the body as a whole. So we can take this section, flip through, see what it is that is actually bothering you. And then the action steps for this week are to see if there's any organ systems that you can specifically support, care for, nourish, comfort. Maybe it is the thyroid. Maybe there's some foods that you can eat this week that actually help support the thyroid. Maybe there's some foods that you can eat this week or eliminate this week that don't really do as well for the endocrine system. You're balancing your hormones. There are so many good tips out there and so many good protocols. I absolutely love the Whole30, and I love the GAPS diet. I love the AIP, the autoimmune protocol. We're actually going to dive into all of those different types of protocols and things that I've tried and things that I would recommend in just about 2 weeks. We are going to do all of that elimination diet protocol, but I will see you all on another episode next week when we talk about gut health. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helps, and I'll see you for another episode next week. Bye.
Thank you for spending your tea time with us. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.